Hello, everybody, and welcome to a little bit of a different Deadlock tier list. Different Deadlock video. We don't play Deadlock today, we're gonna make a tier list. I made a tier list a while ago. I don't think I've ever uploaded it or talked about it. I can find it at least. So if you find it, let me know, please. And otherwise, I'm gonna put the picture on here right now. Where I have made a tier list about the easiest heroes to play. So the bottom means that was the easiest hero, and the top means that is the bottom is the hardest hero to play, top is the easiest hero to play, and yeah, I made that a while ago. It's gonna be on the screen right now. But now we're gonna start with a new tier list. Now I was thinking about that, and I just need the pictures in front of me. And I was thinking, there's like an early game, a mid game, a late game, and Deadlock is actually very balanced. So, the question that remains for me is, which character has the most effect in late game? Which character can carry in late game? And that's a question that is here for me. And honestly, when I look at this, I would still all put it pretty much on the same tier. So let's start off with someone I want to put on the S tier for now. Dynamo. So I know that for some people it might sound crazy, but I was thinking about who in late game, this Deadlock is on a balanced level, on such a balanced level that if it comes to late game and both have all the items and stuff, it completely depends on the team play in 99% of the scenario, because even in late game, no hero or almost no hero can do it completely alone by himself. And so Dynamo is a very team dependent hero, and he still is, but with his ultimate and some spirit upgrade, pretty much like Enigma from Black Hole from Dota 2, what I know. In Dota, you can actually kill all 5 people with a Radiance and a Ganem Scepter, some magic damage upgrade. And Dynamo cannot do that. But Dynamo's ult single-handedly can change a whole team fight, and that's why in the late game, even though it's just his kit, he has a strong effect on the late game. And yeah, it's pretty strong. So, and that's what I was thinking when before I even opened that. I was thinking, who is gonna have the most effect in late game? And then I was well, probably everything with an AoE ability or ability that disables other agents. He is still a question for me, but Shiv, for example, in this tier list would be a D tier. Shiv can get strong with items, but generally when I see Shiv, I think a lot of Axe from Dota, who's an early mid-game character, really strong. But when it comes to late game, he is just lacking. Don't get me wrong, he still can tank. But killing the enemy team, he's just too weak in the late game to go full crazy. Actually, now that I see her face, Paige, should I put her A tier or S tier? I feel Paige is so strong. It depends on the build you're making, but I'm gonna go with S tier as well. So Paige is one of those characters in Deadlock. I mean, I like my magical build, but if you know the Paige build, the Paige build, where she just multi-shots and she does so much damage, it's insane. She's one of the few heroes that in this game can put out so much damage that, bro, it's insane. She just wipes them. I have never seen a character single-handedly wipe teams, but she's the only one that really can single-handedly wipe teams in this game, I feel like. like by herself. There's some others that can do a lot of effect and damage, but she's pretty much one of the strongest of them. Speaking of AoE damage and being strong, I was thinking about my GOAT 7. I'm gonna put him here in A tier. He's a little bit better than B tier. Like, see, B is neutral, like he cannot carry. D and C is like he's even worse, maybe a little bit worse and bad in late game. And 7 is one of those guys. He is really strong in late game. With his ultimate, he just can single-handedly either defend the whole base till your people respawns, or even win the team fight on the other side if they're a little bit distracted. If they're not too distracted, he might die, but he still does a lot of damage. And his major weakness is just if he gets stunned. That's why he's not in nasty, because if he gets stunned, this is gonna be a huge problem. Like, if he is getting stunned, that is just gonna be a problem. So even for I'm saying how good are they in late games, it's more like how good are they in probably like team compositions. I don't know. I'm gonna talk at the end about it when I have a fixed list, because I'm gonna put McGinnis here on. I'm gonna put her on A or S tier. I'm gonna put her on A tier for now. Maybe S tier? No, wait. Actually, let's put it on higher A tier for now. McGinnis is also one of those characters, just like from Overwatch Mei. She has her wall. And I feel like the most important thing to win in late game in those fights, because you cannot do it by yourself unless you're page, as I said, is to either like do a lot of AoE damage, have some kind of control. You need to have some kind of control. So if you play it right, you can do it in the early game, you can do it in the mid game, you can do it late game, you can do it all game. Which is her using her wall. Just her using her wall to wall like half of the team, 2 or 3 people off. So you focus on those guys, get the kills, the wall's gonna drop, and then you have the other half of the team. So they cannot really, the enemy team cannot play together with each other. It's gonna interrupt their team play. They might get fished out really quick. You hope that you communicate with your team and focus on them. And then you get the kills pretty well. And yeah, that is really effective. That's like, you can wall them off, and you can use like your ultimate. You're going for like a spirit build with a little bit of tankiness. Steal your HP back, doing some damage, have them walled off, and the rest of the team is also pulling in the damage real quick. And yeah, that's a good thing, good way to do it. Now, right, let's see, who do we have next on the list? I mean, Abrams would be next on the list. Let's just go with Abrams. I'm gonna put him on B tier, which means late game he's kind of mid. He's not like bad, but he also is not the biggest influence. I see his positives. He has his charge where he can technically charge someone into a wall and stun him for a while, or his ultimate where he can just crush down and interrupt. He has potential to interrupt a lot, but I feel like in late game, even with a full build, that other characters can do it better and stronger and pull out more damage. Like McGinnis can wall them off and do the damage, and probably other characters I'm gonna mention. And yeah, he's overall a good character, but he's not the most influential in late game. He knows what he has to do. You have to hit it right and then get your team to go in it, and yeah, it's pretty strong. So Billy is going on A tier. He has he's a melee character. He has a lot of lifesteal. He has strong abilities that send people into the air, smash on the ground, and his ultimate make people stuck. Unless they leave, then they get sucking back in, so they cannot even go really fast somewhere. Plus he's just dealing a crazy amount of damage, which this damage alone he has some high damage potential, which puts him on A tier. Because while he maybe cannot kill the whole enemy team, he survives a lot. Like, he survives a lot. He regenerates a lot of HP using his abilities, using his melee, his third ability, getting drunk, ulting. He gets a lot of time. He buys the team a lot of time by not dying and giving them team a great chance to just, like, you know, do the thing. Alright, speaking of late game Calvin. Calvin does do a little bit more damage than Abrams, I would say. And here's the thing. I feel like Calvin is really good in the late game. He's one of my favorites because I play the Spirit Burst nade. They just do a bunch of spirit damage with a nade, and also you have a little bit of your ice where you can initiate with some stuff. And then you have your ultimate, which is really important. In that ultimate, if you like level it up, you slow them, and you even get better healing. And it heals your teammates as well. Now here is the thing why he's in B tier. The potential is higher than B tier. He has definitely more potential than Abrams, but here's the thing. It's just, you need to get people in that ultimate. Even if it's more than you asked for, it still works, kind of. But you need your team to be really close there with you to, like, put people into the ultimate, single them out, and get the kills. It is possible, but from speaking just from experiencing having Calvin as one of my most played characters, he's like third or second most played character, together with Whiskers and Seven. It's just, I have to say, I would love to put him higher, but the potential is there, but it's just really, 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 really hard to pull it off. Otherwise, great late game potential, but it's just not there. It's just, I mean, it's there, it's just really hard to pull it off. Alright, what do we have? What should I pick? I'm just going here. I want to talk about Lash, but I just don't know how. I'm gonna put Lash on. Let's talk about Lash. Fuck it. Actually, let's put Lash on C tier. Maybe even on D tier. So Lash's util, generally, it's a little bit of stunning. It's a little bit of lifting them up, you know? Like diving in, crushing the ground, pretty much like Doomfist. But that's it. And then you've got the ultimate. The ultimate is the only saving grace of Lash in the late game. His kit generally is underwhelming, and in late game, the damage is not enough. He just doesn't put out enough damage to be like of significance. It's all about the ultimate, and probably gonna suck more people into the ultimate than you want to. You give him a little bit of stun. It really depends on the team play. It could be, but honestly, for late game, you just have the ultimate. You have nothing else going for Lash in the late game. There's nothing speaking for him. Absolutely nothing. Back to Mo and Quill, another tank. I like my tanks, you know. I'm gonna put him in C tier. Should he be in B tier? It's a hard fight between him and Abrams, but generally speaking, here's the Mo and Quill thing. What is his strength? He's a very tanky, do a little bit of shooting damage. You have another damaging ability, but most importantly, you have a kit. You have a decent kit with like burrowing in, shooting people in the air, throw sand at them. The sand is probably the most important ability in the late game, because if they can shoot, you already get your team an good thing, but it also depends entirely on the enemy team. If they're like a really magical caster team in late game, your sand will not work as much. You have your ultimate, and even upgraded ultimate you do the damage with the ultimate, but it's not the main focus. It's to single one person out to kill them. It's not bad, but speaking from experience, you're gonna go like really tanky, a little bit spirity. You're just trying to be there, survive, get your team an advantage, but generally, as soon as you use the ultimate and make the enemy a target for your team, you are a target for the enemy team. Not only do you like probably get shot down really fast because the damage in late game can be insane. Also, your team can distract by the one person you captured in, and they can set up for something else that could be devastating to your whole team. So generally, in late game, while I love Mo and Quill in the late game, he might not be as effective as he should be. Alright. Let's see. Warden. Let's talk tanks. Let's talk tanks. Warden. The A tier is A tier. Warden cannot single-handedly carry the game by himself. However, he has a huge damage output with his ultimate, where he can just single-handedly regenerate a lot of HP himself build-wide, be a little bit strong, speed himself up, maybe you get a stun off. Generally he will not carry the late game, but he will pull out the damage you need in the late game. He's a good damage output with his ultimate, and he definitely can do some devastating damage to the enemy team. Generally one is just seriously good. Maybe I'm glazing him a little bit, maybe he should be in B tier actually, but I just feel like he is like a good pick in general, especially in the tanks. He's definitely up there. He's probably the #1 tank right now. I love me some other tanks as well, but one right now is just oof. There's some people that are not even tanks who are better at him, like Billy from the survivability, surprisingly. But yeah, one is still strong as well and has his own right to be there. Alright, next. Oof. This is harder than I thought it would be. We should just go with the list, but alright. Let's go with Calico. I'm gonna go with C tier. I know some people would put Calico higher, maybe B tier. People would argue Calico and Billy. Generally speaking, I don't like Calico. And Calico needs a melee build to work, and when it works good. He has potential in late game, and generally all the melee builds belong like somewhere in A tier, between S and A tier. So her kit is not the best. It's just not. I hate Calico. Otherwise she probably belongs in A tier, but I don't like her, so she's in C tier now. Bebop yes, A tier. It depends. You have a lot of different builds you can make with Bebop. Bebop has one of those things that go through all out of the game, which is the reason why he's in A tier and not somewhere lower. His sticky bombs get stronger the longer the game goes. I don't think there's a maximum. If there's a maximum, please let me know that I can put him lower than this. And generally speaking, he has a better early mid-game thing. His late game still strong, depending on what build he makes. I've seen melee Bebops, I've seen magical Bebops, the Echo Shot Bebop. You have a lot of variety to play with Bebop, which also gives him a good chance for late game. Yeah, you have the hook and the sticky bomb, which just played wide. You might even push them into the enemy team, the sticky bombs, and get a lot of AoE damage out of it. You have a strong ultimate that can actually heal you up. If you do it wide, you have the uppercut. What's his third ability? Like uppercut, hook, bomb. Okay, yeah, no, never mind. The hook is a hard thing to pull off, at least for me. I suck. I've got to be honest. But yeah, I'm gonna put him in A tier for now, just simply because the sticky bombs get stronger and stronger. Doorman, he's my favorite. but I have to put him at B tier. I play him actually surprisingly similar to Calvin. I go for a lot of magical burster damage. He has a good shoot damage as well. And generally speaking, he has a lot of potential with the doors. I'm still not good with the doors, I've got to admit that, but he can send his card and send a hero towards your team with that ability. He can use his ultimate, and if you do it build a white build, you have a refresher, which means you can send 2 people into the Hotel California. And it gives you a good advantage in team fights, but because of the low range of his ultimate and generally to get in there, it is hard to pull off. You're gonna put out some magical spirit damage mostly, but there is potential. He is still strong in the late game. I just don't feel like he can fully like pull it out. Fifth, I'm gonna keep it Quay Town. Looking at the other heroes, you have to put Quay Town on C. I would put Quay Town on neutral, but I cannot put him neutral because in comparison to those 3 in B tier right now, Quay Talon is going under. Quay Talon is pretty good. He does some spirit damage. He's really strong in the early game to annoy people and drive them insane with his shot, with his charged shot. He has his little trap that can affect. Still in late game has a little bit of an effect. He can devastate, and then his ultimate. Also he has his flight. He can do some damage. There's a little bit of output, but he has nothing like too effective in the late game that bothers too much. His eagle can do stuff, but generally speaking, he does his thing. But late game, like when it comes to team fights, maybe his eagle to get off the kill, some pulling in some damage. But there's people who could just probably do it better in the late game for like the team fights. Alright, holiday. Infernus. B. Is Infernus good? Yes. Is he in late game even stronger? Yes. But he's also not like brokenly strong. As I said, this game is very balanced. So people like all the shooty patooties are pretty much on the same wavelength. Infernus is a little bit ahead in the curve with his ultimate and his dash, that he has the chance to stun like the enemy's team and stuff and pull out some damage. While he's mostly focused on damage and a little bit of spirit, like the Bad Rider Spirit way to play it with a better ultimate, you can stun the people and put in some work, but generally, yeah, that's about it. So let's go for the shooty patooties. Vindicta. I'm gonna put her in C tier here. She is very similar to Quay Talon, but Quay Talon I feel like has a better. I'm gonna say it has a better early game, but generally Vindicta has some high damage output. She can be strong with her snipe and ultimate. But as I said about the shooty patooties, she's mostly focused on a little bit spirit damage, mostly with like ultimate charge, extra charges and stuff. There's some good output of damage, but there's not, as I said, it's probably mostly gonna be like AoE like damage that like can carry the team to victory. And she alone will not be the reason the team wins the team fight. Just no. So let's go through the shooty patooties. Let's see. I'm gonna put Holiday on Beefo. She's also a shooty patootie. She's her barrels to do a little bit of damage, her jump pad. Mostly she lives from her headhunt. And she has the redeeming quality of her lasso ultimate. Similar to like Infernus who stuns and by running in, she can put people out with her ultimate. Which is like the Bad Rider ultimate from Dota 2, and you just get the kills in. You like take that guy away. He cannot do too much right now, and you're just gonna get the kill on that guy, and then you're going for the next guys. That is pretty much what she does. She does some decent damage. In late game, definitely pulls out damage. Definitely does a good amount of damage. That doesn't mean she can carry by herself, but she can pull out enough damage and an ultimate to secure at least a chance for their team. Oh. Alright, another shooty patootie. Viper. Where do we put Viper? No, someone else right now. Mirage. B. He is a shooty patootie just like the other two in front of him. But he has his ultimate that he can teleport to places which can be effective. He has a little bit of square-ups, a little bit of a passive build-up. But generally speaking, he's mainly there to do the damage. Maybe one tornado just lift him up for a bit, but other people can stun or AoE way better than him. He's just a shooty patootie. He's pretty much the mid of this whole entire conversation. No, that's okay. I'm gonna put her on A tier. You're gonna be like, wait, you said all the shooty patooties are B tier. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Except for Paige if she's a shooty patootie, but the thing that Hayes has above some other shooty patooties. Actually, would that make Calvin A tier then? No, but let's talk about it. What Hayes has, if it's played smart, she has her sleep dart. She has an invisibility. She's mostly for the shooty patootie. Her passive does a lot of alignment damage. And what Hayes is she has the Reaper ultimate from Overwatch. If you know it, you know immediately what I mean. And she can move faster than a Reaper in that ultimate. So she can move a little bit in that ultimate. And how do I say it? She has good combo potential because anyone like imagine the Abrams ultimate stun with her ultimate would be devastating. Dynamo is comboing with everybody. If you like combo Dynamo Haze, it's a team kill. 100% guaranteed. There's no way of them escaping that team kill, that team vibe. So yeah, people like that, Haze can just, when the team fights starts, you can come in from the side while they are focused. Maybe they're getting too close to each other, and she can just ultimate and whoosh, pull out so much damage that she can actually pull some people down. And the AoE ultimate damage is one of the main reasons she's on A tier and not on B tier. She just has a little bit advantage in the damage department of the AoE above the other shooties patooties. Oof. So let's talk. Let's talk my boy Viscous. It's not easy. I play Viscous on the same power level as Calvin. I'm gonna put him right behind Calvin. So Viscous is one of those guys, while Calvin plays more like for control with his team, Viscous pulls out just a little bit of extra spirit damage. He has his ultimate where he gets really tanky and stuns people. You can use that to get some HP back. You have the Phantom Strike item that you can make to like do that, and the Warp Stone to get also some tank bonuses and just have more control over the ball. And you can use abilities while you're in the ball form if you play it right. So he and Karen are pretty on the same level. There will not be super control, but Viscous is still really strong in late game. He tanks, he's playing time, and yeah, he's doing a great job actually. So, Victor, my Victor. No, Viper, no Pocket. Ah, Lady Geist. How do I put Lady Geist? That's a good question. I'm gonna put her on. Should I put her on C tier? B or C? Where could I put her, Lady Geist? She's stronger than Mirage, Holiday, and Infernus. Depends. What can she do in late game? She can suck people for their life, getting stronger. She has a bomb that can do some AoE damage on the field. But most importantly in this scenario would actually be her ultimate, where if she almost dies, she can ult a person and get this person's life back and would just be like, oh, I'm full, I'm back. Which can end up devastating for some enemy heroes. And then she does some shooty patooty stuff for the rest of the game. Mostly magical focused with damage focus. So where do I put Lady Geist? Do I put her in the B shooty patooty category with Mirage? Is she better than Mirage? I don't know. This is tough. I explained my whole reasoning. So I have to say. I put her in C here. Let's see, what can Mirage do? Actually, Lady Geist outdoes Mirage. I'm gonna put the Lady Geist above Mirage. Alright. We're getting closer and closer to the guys. Alright. Viper. Viper. Viper is a special case. Viper is a very special case. He's a shooty patooty. If we're going team fights, she would be probably somewhere around B tier, but I'm gonna put her A tier. So, Viper is not the best hard carry for the late game, but the reason why I'm gonna put her on A tier for the carrying is, besides that she has a really good damage outburst in late game, which all the other shooty patooty should have as well, but what she has is that sliding, a stunning ultimate, a little bit of other abilities, but she got a little bit nerfed as well. But Viper just has that game-ending part sliding. Like, get the enemy team distracted, and Viper single-handedly can take out the patron by herself while they're distracted. She's just gonna. That's why she's an A tier, because she can end game so quick with her sliding that it is insane. And she just has infinite ammo for so long. She slides and she can end games. She just can end games, and that's why she's an A tier. Even though she doesn't have anything else really much speaking for her except for a good damage output, it is her sliding and game-ending things that you probably, if you play a lot of Deadlock, you have definitely happened to you. You have one of your teammates did this, just and then it was just down like really fast, and yeah. All right. It's getting really hard here because those heroes are not my best. Actually, Ivy I'm not too bad with, but the late game potential. She has that slowing thing. She can boost her teammates. She can fly her teammates in. I'm gonna put her under Calvin. My Ivy is good enough, but with her ultimate, you can ultimate some of your teammates and combo with them and throw them into the fight to like activate a combo. Like you can throw in Dynamo to combo and throw your net and ability. Actually, wait a second. Ivy belongs in A tier because she has, with the full build, you have like the net, the vortex web, where you can suck all people in, throw your bomb at them. You can do a lot of AoE damage. Not the most, but some good amount. And with that vortex weapon stuff, with the max equipment, you can set up for some game-ending scenarios, some control, a lot of control there where you can just, all the AoE damage could just work together for the victory there. Sinclair, let's talk about you. You are a shooty patootie. Sinclair, while magical and normal damage focused, Sinclair is mainly a shooty patootie. The only thing that makes him a really wildcard in this scenario is his ultimate, where he steals another opponent's ultimate. So it is a really Sinclair is a lot of fun. He has good actually let's put him higher. Put him all the way up on the top of B tier. Because he can turn people into bunny servals, you can increase the range on that. You have the potential to do your ultimate, steal an ultimate from the enemy. That could be breaking or non-breaking, depending on what they are playing. And yeah, it's very dependent on what the enemy is playing. Then you have your ghost teammate and your magical spell that they don't have too much effect. Especially the first one. The magical assistant still does a good amount of damage, which is why she's helpful. And yeah, you can have a great impact, or yeah, really tough. It's really tough. Alright. Mina, alright, let's talk about you. I, for the life of me, cannot put her at C tier. She has to be somewhere in B tier. She could be in A tier. She's broken. But here's the thing. When I play her, she's not broken, but seriously. She is a class cannon. She is so much damage output in the early game. It's annoying. It's so annoying. I hate playing against a Mina in the lane. When there's a Mina in the lane, I'm just frustrated immediately. So I would say Mina is definitely somewhere between B and A tier. She doesn't have something too groundbreaking, but her ultimate generally does a good amount of damage and silences people as well, which could be very effective. She can teleport in and out just to stay alive, and mostly focuses on huge damage output. Which is better. Their haze is definitely better than Mina in the late game, like scenario. But if I put, is it because of the rabbits? Sinclair's, I have to put her at somewhere in A tier here, because she just is so strong and so annoying. Just her damage output alone is strong enough to drive people insane. Alright. Pocket, you suck. Actually, I'm gonna put you in D tier. Maybe in C tier. He has an ultimate where it does AoE damage. Okay, no, Pocket has potential. Let's put him in C tier. Pocket has potential. He can teleport, he can book for some AoE damage, like he can use his code. He has a lot of AoE damage abilities actually. And he can pull out a good amount of damage with it. He will not be able to carry by himself, but he will tank, he will do something ultimate. And in late games though, I feel like alone, we're speaking from the lone factor, he cannot carry his team by himself. He can be strong, he can be annoying, he can buy that team time, but you need something to combo like an Ivy or a Dynamo, and then you can actually get great with his ultimate, and then you can do some great amount. Drifter. Alright, let's talk Drifter. I'm not sure. I have to think about it, but I'm maybe A or S tier here. Why? His ultimate simply alone. You don't see anymore, you're getting short form somewhere. You see until you realize where you get short form, it could be too late. It takes a lot of the vision away, it disrupts the whole enemy team's play. He's himself had to get nerfed several times because he's so freaking strong. that goes in from behind, backstabber, hunters over. The amount of damage you can just put out, it's insane actually. Yeah. Now I'm gonna put him in S tier. While he doesn't, okay, he seems pretty strong. He is really strong. I just cannot pull it off. But generally, he can make or break a team's team play, because once you use the ultimate and there's a little bit of panic going around, nobody can see the enemy as much anymore, and everyone is just gonna panic, swirl around, and this distraction could be easily used to just pick out characters and just destroy the whole game plan and just change the tide around if it's getting really like dangerous, or just if they're really close to like the ancient. I said ancient, I'm sorry, the patron. Because I can't think of the word. Which only leaves us with 4 people left, which I'm surprised. Alright. Paradox. What's her late game potential? Is Paradox A tier or B tier? That's a tough one here. Alright, let me break it down for you. The first ability will not be the most groundbreaking one. It's just throwing something on the ground that does damage. A lot of people have that. The second ability, on the other hand, like the shield that blocks the shots, can have a huge effect in some team fights and other stuff. The third ability is getting used for like high damage output and does like an insane amount of damage, which Paradox is a shooty patootie, but with some extra annoyances. It's like an extra annoying shooty patootie, and her ultimate, the whip around, that is what makes her so strong in team fights, could make her strong in team fights, or just generally in singling people out. If there's people alone on the map and you are a Paradox, maybe with another teammate, maybe you need another teammate, you just use your ultimate through the wall, and you know how many Paradoxes have tilted me, it's just insane. So Paradox knows, if it comes to late game, I'm not sure how effective Paradox is gonna fully be. I know what Paradox will do in late game, but just don't know where to put it. Paradox, probably even in late game, Paradox still does a decent amount of damage. Not as effective, probably, but goddamn, Paradox. If the Paradox has been playing all game, gotten some kills, the person he got the kills on is gonna be so tilted. Like, he's gonna lose it when he sees the Paradox. He's gonna focus the Paradox instead of somebody else so hard. He can just tilt people. I will put Paradox though on B tier. Somewhere here. Alright, Wave. It's pretty much on the same level as a Paradox. Actually better than that. Let's see. In the late game, the telekinesis can spring around. So Wave is going for like that shock shot. And she has an escape and initiate ability. She has a cut to do some damage, mostly her telekinesis. If it jumps around, it stuns and disarms people for so long. It's just, and since you get multiple with it, it's pretty fucking annoying and strong and hard to deal with. And just like who did we just talk about? Paradox. Wave is also a character that can tilt you to your most insane streams. You feel like you're getting focused by Ultimate all the time. You're just so hardcore focused by her, so hard, so hard. It's, yeah. Alright, we've got Victor and Yamato left. What an interesting combination. Alright, let's talk Yamato first, because I'm thinking about Yamato right now. Alright, so Yamato is pretty similar to Calico, except for that Yamato has better abilities than Calico. Yamato mostly focus also on melee builds, with a little bit of spirit damage here and her ultimate and stuff. She has a good initiating ability. She pulls out some damage, and if you play it right, she's like invincible. You're just like, oh my god, that bitch is invincible. She has a little bit of slow, a little bit of control, but nothing like too crazy that says she's just. I don't know where to. I kind of want to put her on B tier, but I just can't. But I want to put her above Mirage or Lady Guys, but then I'm just like, I'm gonna put her in C tier. On top of C tier. And now we just have Victor, my boy, left. Alright. Victor is a self-damaging tank, kind of. He's very weird. He's not weird. It's just weird for me to describe. Okay, I'm not the best in it. He has his battery, which in late game doesn't have a lot of effect. He has his third ability, which does some damage. His second, he has his heal, self-heal ability, which can be good, but can also be self-damaging to heal, which is in late game couldn't be as good anymore. But his ultimate and his third ability just alone, if you make a good lifesteal build, you can tank out and put out a great amount of damage. If you have slows in your team and other stuff, you have a great chance of doing it. So I'm gonna put him in A tier. The question is where in A tier? Probably a below 1. There's still good chances and he still has a good potential, but yeah, this is the tier list. We only have one in D, which I'm surprised about. I assumed the most are gonna be in B. I'm surprised I put so many people in A, C, okay, yeah, S. I'm not surprised that there's not many. And there we have our 3 like S tier late game heroes apparently. Maybe I'll make this like a maybe this is gonna be my next roster, like 2 stars and 1 stars. Maybe no, that would be too many, but yeah. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you guys think are the best late game characters, maybe with build, whatever, or describe how you would pull it off in the late game, your character in Deadlock. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of this ranking, and I'll see you guys next one. Until then, have a great one. Bye bye.